I want to wish you cheers for a cup of coffee. How many have drunk or drank or have tasted coffee? Everybody in the room. What about on the Zoom? Okay, I think they're not coffee drinkers. Oh, yes, they have raised their hands. Yes, they have drunk coffee. How many of you know to make coffee? Yeah, this is from DT and Priscilla. Thank you so much. I used the theme of the day. What is so special about coffee? It is just water, some coffee beans, maybe some sugar, some milk. It's really tempting. So I'm going to sip it. Please, excuse me. Coffee is coffee, but what makes it special is the person creating it. That's why we are so passionate to go to Starbucks, Costas, or maybe a friend who makes that amazing tea or coffee. Sometimes we say chai or karak chai, strong tea, green tea, the flavors that come with it. And that's what makes it stand out. That's what matters. Why is it so special? Is the person creating the coffee. In fact, that's what our speeches are. Tea, coffee, it's the same, but the ingredients, the passion, the effort, the purpose, who you're making the coffee for. How much of effort is taken to brew the coffee? In fact, if those who know, that is a strange process that our coffee beans even comes from an animal, and it's one of the most expensive coffee in the world. How many of you know that? So it's the person delivering a speech that makes it so important, and that's why it matters. My name is Raymond. I've been a Toastmaster for almost 13, 14 years. But more than a Toastmaster, I've been a public speaker in the wilderness. When I say wilderness, it means where you have no mercy. The beauty of a Toastmaster club is everybody supports you. As DT and Kajitan said, we are all here to guide you, to support you, to mentor you. And that's what makes Toastmasters so special. But if you are out there in the wilderness, at work, at home, on the Gulf Street where the police could catch you, you are at the mercy of society. You are at the mercy that someone could say, your coffee is really bad. And how you take it is a different story. That will be another workshop, how to deal with feedback. But today we are coming to a point of what really matters. Since I've been a public speaker, I have learned one common thing. You want to write a speech, have a story, have some humor, put some quotes. That's what's going to make a best speech. Indeed, it does. But that's not what matters. You need to have a speech that people will remember when they are going back home. A speech that they will feel and remember the feeling a year later. And that's what we're going to talk about. How to craft a speech, a message, something that you want to tell this audience, your boss, your colleagues, your friends, society, and they will remember you for it. I'll give you an incident before I start my session. I'm from India, from Goa, a particular place to be more specific. I was invited by the villagers to give a speech because there was a big problem with the government. So who was my audience? The villagers. What was the problem? Something with the government. Two dangerous situations. The government can put me to jail and the people can stone me to death. So I drafted a speech, I had stories, I did everything required because Toastmasters taught me. And that's when I told the Toastmaster or the master of ceremonies over there, I am ready. And I could see the people, they were angry. Why are they angry? Because the previous speaker spoke in English. Huh? These people don't understand English. They understand another language called Konkani. Oh, I know Konkani. Yeah, but Raymond, your Konkani is so funny that instead of laughing, they will stone you to death. Oh, there goes my Toastmaster training. And I was wondering what to do next. So I said, okay, nothing doing. Toastmasters also told me to be a leader. And that's when the leadership cap came on and I started to speak Komplish, which is half Konkani and half English. And it worked. People were not smiling, but their hands were in their pockets, so their hands didn't come out to stone me. I was saved. And that's when I realized that speaking or crafting a speech or asking your boss for a raise is just not about telling stories. There are a lot more elements that comes to it. So are we ready to understand the 5 P's of crafting a speech, not necessarily writing a speech? So the first P is purpose. Now, before I start on purpose, I want to give each one of you a task. If you'll have pens and papers, mobiles, or any device which can input data, I want you all to be, including the Zoom attendees, to be heart masters. For those who don't know what is a heart master, you are supposed to be alert and note down interesting words or phrases that I said. And somewhere in the meeting, I'm going to ask you, one of you or all of you, what did you hear? Now, this word, what I said, or phrases, what I say, must be something interesting to you. When I said the people are going to stone me, and you found it impressive, you can write, people were going to stone him. So I want you to write words that impress you, that you will have learned, and which may add value to your speaking skills. Going back to our workshop, the first thing is purpose. When you have a speech to give, a message to deliver, you need to understand why you're doing it. Is it because your mentor is forcing you to deliver a speech? Or DTM Cadgeton said you have to give speech once in a month. Are you doing it to impress DTM Cadgeton? Are you doing it to impress yourself? Are you doing it to impress your boss? What is the purpose of your speech? Or are you doing it just to finish your DTM curriculum? Or are you doing it just because you have been told to speak? So what we do, I did it myself. I prepare the speech when I'm traveling from home to Toastmasters, and I come here and I deliver it up. I delivered the speech. Yay! Did it matter? I don't know. It mattered to me. Did it matter to the audience? Some guest would have come and said, what? I listened to that fellow. He came, delivered something and went, and everybody clapped for him. Purpose of your speech. Purpose could be anything from your personal requirement of being a good public speaker. Purpose could be to impress the audience. I have family members who I told to join me in session. They're like, Raymond is speaking. I want to hear. So my purpose is to impress them, their kids. This club used to have children coming here. And those, oh yes, we have Melania. And they would be inspired by their parents coming here and speaking. That the kids themselves would start speaking. What is your purpose of speaking? It is not just for yourself. It is for your audience. They are wasting hours and time to come here, to listen to you, to learn from you, to take a message back home. And if you don't do that, you're wasting their time. You're wasting your boss's time if you don't give him the right reason why you need an increment. What is the company's benefit if I give you an increment? What is the benefit for society? What is your purpose? And it's not only in public speaking, even world champions, district champions. I mentor a lot of people. And when they say, I want to participate in district contest, I ask them why. I want to win. Why? Do you want the half KD trophy? We can buy it. And I can put another KD to stick your name. But when I tell the same person, go back to your country, your society needs you to talk about the problems they face. Oh, no, I'm too scared to do that. No, have a purpose for your speech. Because once you have a purpose, you will know what to speak about. I want to speak today to help you learn how to craft a speech. My purpose is that my knowledge will be transferred to you all. My experience will be transferred to you all. My journey will be transferred to you all. So I have to do it right. Let's go to the second P. People. When I was a contestant for a humorous contest in this club, I went to Gulf University. 600 people in front of me. I gave the humorous speech of my life. And guess what? Nobody laughed. I was like, see, at least she laughed now. You should have been there. Nobody laughed. And I was embarrassed. A 50-meter stage, 600 people in front of you, and nobody laughs? And that was my first contest. Nobody told me, people. I was cracking Indian jokes to an Arabic audience, which nobody understood. Know your audience. If you know who you are talking to, use that in your speech. You cannot have the same speech for everybody. Somebody wants more stories. Somebody wants humor. Somebody wants technicalities. If I would go and sit with DTM Cadgeton over coffee, I know he's a guy who loves facts and figures and specifics and numbers and logic. He also loves adventure. So if I'm going to talk about things that he's not interested, he will just listen to me because he's my friend. But it wouldn't matter to him more than that. So you need to understand who are your people for your speech in particular. So purpose, why you're delivering the speech and why it is so important, and who are you delivering the speech to? It could be your club. Your club loves you. Take that same speech to another club and they'll wonder what's wrong with this person. What kind of speech are you giving us? Just because your club says nice to you all the time, others don't. Take the same speech to your work. Maybe it will not work at all. Know your audience before you plan your speech. Then comes to the main part. Prepare your speech. Do not mug it up. I've had Toastmasters, public speakers, who would copy a speech from YouTube. Ditto. I've had seen Toastmasters and public speakers who tells ChatGPT, write a speech for me. And ChatGPT is our faithful servant today. It does. But where is the speech from your heart? Where is the speech from yourself? You can be inspired by a story in your life, or you can be inspired by a story from someone else's life. But the point is, you need to prepare your speech. Most of us DTMs, because we are supposedly so good, we can speak on the fly all the time. So even for DTMs, public speakers, world champions, prepare your speech. The audience is spending valuable time to listen to you. It is very important, no matter how much, but to prepare your speech. In the last many years of my journey in Toastmasters, members would spend equal amount of time practicing, preparing their speech as they would do for a contest. But today I see people preparing their speech on the fly, but not deliver it in any way. Prepare your speech. And it's not only about speech, it could be any role, whether it's a grammarian role, whether it is a Toastmaster role, it could be going for a job interview. Prepare your speech. Have your stories, have your facts, have your research, whatever is required for that speech. For the purpose of the speech, prepare it. See if it's going to take more time. One of my personal challenges, I always go overtime with my speeches because I have not prepared the timing aspect of it. I have to keep practicing. And that's what, as DTM Cadgeton said, you come back to Toastmasters to learn everything about speaking. Sometimes we say, I have done this speech 1 year ago. I'll just repeat it. It's okay. No problem. Everything is going to be perfectly fine. No. The audience may change. Things will be different. Prepare it again. Run it by your mentors, your coaches, who is there as part of your life. Prepare your speech. Wonderful. Present your speech. To whom? To anybody. To your mentors, to your friends. Presenting your speech realizes how you're going to deliver it. Is it going to be online on a Zoom session? Is it going to be in person? One of the things I used to do is I used to tell my mentees, Present your speech in public, in the mall, in front of thousands of people, in the garden. People will wonder, what are these people doing, speaking too much? Present your speech and see how it goes. Record your speech and listen to it. There are two ways of recording. I would always tell people do a video recording. So what I would do when I listen to their speech, I would either shut the video, keep the phone down and only listen, or I would shut the audio and look at the video, how they are reacting. They will be swaying and doing all sorts of things, and then merge them together and understand whether the presentation of their speech is perfect. What props are you going to use? Now, I could have done this easily in PowerPoint. It would have taken half the, even maybe 1/10 of the time I took to cut this out. But I want you all to remember that I cut something pretty bad and it looks like I ate it. But you all will remember the imperfections. Because if it's perfect, you'll say, it's PowerPoint. I will close the video and I will watch the PowerPoint. But you're all expecting me to do some magic. But the magic is what all of y'all. So the fourth thing is present your speech and know what you need to do. Maybe you need to make this board. Maybe, as I said, I needed a cup of tea. Maybe I told you, TM Kajan, how the cameras are going to work. What is the location? I messaged them, which floor are you? You need to know everything that requires you to present your speech. Otherwise, last minute, it's going to be a mess. You have to prepare and then learn how to present your speech. Moving on to the final P is practice. We don't practice enough when we deliver our speeches. We don't practice enough when we do presentations at work. Just because we are skillful with the knowledge that we have. Like, I come from an IT background. I can talk hours in IT. But even in IT, sometimes I'm too overconfident. My audience may be non-technical. They don't know enough of IT. So I have to follow the whole circle again to break it down and then practice it to ensure that the audience understands. Or you can practice, number one, with your mentor. All your speeches, whether it's for Toastmasters, whether it's for work. I've had many mentees come to me to practice work-related speeches with us. It doesn't have to be only Toastmasters. I've had mentees come practice World Championship speeches with us. There is no limit to your practice. Once you're done with your mentors, go out, ask friends and family to guide you in specifics. If you ask too many cooks to cook that coffee, they'll spoil it. So go with specifics. Like, for example, if I would practice my speech right now, I would say, Toastmaster Arkham, can you just review the humorous side? Now, what happens here? I've been very specific with my feedback requirements, with my practice. So I get a little bit from everyone. But if I say, give me a review of the whole speech, give me a review of the whole speech, give me a review of the whole speech, gradually you will get confused. So practice your speeches well and go to people who are very good at specific elements, and they will help you practice even better. So regardless of what you're speaking for, regardless of the message you are going to deliver, regardless of anything, practice. If you're not going to practice anything that you do, even making coffee, you might be good at what you do, but it's not going to take you far. You will reach only this high. A little more practice, a little more high. Add a little more purpose, you keep going high. You complete the circle, you will keep evolving. And that is what is the need of the hour. So if you want to have a speech that matters, do this.